The wrench slipped from his tired fingers and clattered against the pavement, a sharp sound in an otherwise quiet morning, and for a moment the poor mechanic froze, staring at the small pink bicycle in front of him as if it carried the weight of his entire life. Grease stained his hands, dust clung to his worn clothes, and the sun exposed every crack in the old repair shop behind him, but none of that mattered as much as the disappointed look on the little girl's face. Her bike was broken, her day was ruined, and he knew exactly how that kind of disappointment felt, because life had been breaking things for him for a long time too. If you believe that simple kindness can change lives and that everyone deserves a second chance, take a moment right now to like this video, share it, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel Grandma Dearie, because stories like this remind us why humanity still matters. The mechanic had once dreamed bigger dreams. Years ago, his shop had been full, his hands steady, his future promising. But one bad season turned into another, customers slowly stopped coming, debts piled up, and pride forced him to keep smiling even when his stomach was empty. Every morning he unlocked the shop out of habit more than hope, fixing what little he could, charging less than he should, telling himself that surviving another day was enough. The town knew him as the quiet man who worked too hard and spoke too little, the kind of person people passed by without really seeing. That morning, the little girl had arrived with her bicycle wobbling dangerously, the chain loose and the handle slightly bent. She stood near him in a blue dress dotted with white circles, clutching the handlebars like they were fragile. Her eyes followed every movement he made, filled with that pure trust only children carry, the kind that can either be protected or crushed in an instant. Behind her, a car was parked awkwardly, its door open, a woman sitting inside, watching. February 4th quietly. The mechanic noticed her only briefly, assuming she was just another tired parent waiting for a quick fix. He inspected the bike carefully, his mind already calculating costs he knew the family might not want to hear. The parts were old, the screws worn, and the repair would take time. He glanced at the girl again, at her small shoes planted firmly on the ground, at the way she tried to stay brave. Something softened inside him. He remembered a time when he couldn't afford repairs either, when kindness from a stranger had once saved him from walking miles home in the rain. Without thinking too much, he decided not to charge a thing. As he worked, the sun climbed higher, sweat mixing with oil on his skin. His tools were scattered on the pavement, and every turn of the wrench felt heavier than usual, not from the effort but from the weight of his own worries. The shop needed rent, electricity bills were overdue, and tomorrow was uncertain. Still, he kept going, tightening bolts, adjusting the chain, straightening the bent handlebar with slow, careful force. The girl watched in silence, her disappointment slowly turning into quiet hope. What he did not know was that the woman in the car was observing everything. She saw his hesitation when he realized the repair would take longer. She noticed the worn-out tools, the patched-up shop walls, the way he wiped his hands on his pants instead of a clean rag. She also noticed something else, something far more important. She saw kindness. She saw a man choosing compassion over profit, even when he clearly had little to spare. The bike slowly came back to life. The wheels spun smoothly, the pedals turned without resistance, and the brakes responded perfectly. When he finally set the bicycle upright, it looked almost new under the bright daylight. The girl's face lit up in a way that made the mechanic's chest tighten unexpectedly. That smile felt like a reward greater than any payment. He stepped back, exhausted, but satisfied, and gave a small nod, signaling that the job was done. He waved off any thought of money with a tired smile, turning his attention back to gathering his tools. He did not see the woman step out of the car immediately. He did not see the way she straightened her jacket, the calm authority in her posture, or the badge discreetly visible as she moved. He only heard footsteps approaching and assumed she was coming to thank him, which was more than he expected. The woman stopped a few steps away, taking in the scene one last time. To her, this was more than a repaired bike. This was a lesson she wanted her daughter to learn, a moment of humanity in a world that often felt cold and unforgiving. She had faced danger daily in her profession, seen the worst sides of people, and worried constantly about the example her child would grow up with. Watching this man fix the bike for free, without knowing who they were, restored something in her that had been slowly fading. What happened next did not come with loud gestures or dramatic speeches. It came quietly, like most real miracles do. The woman took note of the shop's condition, the mechanic's name, and the way he avoided eye contact, as if kindness embarrassed him. She left that day with gratitude in her heart and a plan forming in her mind, one that would soon turn his struggling life in an unexpected direction. In the weeks that followed, things began to change. Word spread about the honest mechanic who fixed a child's bike without asking for anything. More cars started pulling up. A local program supporting small businesses reached out. Opportunities appeared that he never would have chased on his